I've been involved with Chain of Hope for about 20 years. For me, it's really about seeing people with amazing skills, amazing talents, and using those talents for good. So they understand that privilege brings responsibility, and they can change the world with their actions.
I'm very proud to be part of Chain of Hope. Tonight is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and all the money we raise goes to helping children with congenital heart disease around the world.
We're having our charity ball for Chain of Hope, and we're welcoming everybody, hopefully, to have a wonderful evening. We have great entertainment lined up for everybody, with a great auction, and we're hoping to raise as much money as we raised last year.
Well, we're here for Chain of Hope, one of the most wonderful charities that I do auctions for. Truly well-backed and sincere people, and in particular the great Sir Magdi Yacoub, who saved so many lives and is by any standards a national hero.
Chain of Hope brings together hundreds of people, doctors, nurses, practitioners, and lovely ladies who all work to help children with heart disease.
I love the Chain of Hope. I think this is my 6th year of attending, and it's my favourite ball of the season. I think that out of all the balls, this is the most fun. You actually have a really amazing night, and it's great to raise money for a really great charity and to raise awareness about it, but it's also lovely that it's a really great night and you can dress up and it's a really good crowd. It's definitely my favourite event of the season.
So as a doctor, I can only say how amazing Chain of Hope is, and the people who are involved in the charity essentially giving up their time to go away to other parts of the world to help people and provide medical care that is quite literally life-changing, life-saving. It's just amazing. You're giving people the opportunity of life, of a chance of living when they might not have that otherwise. So it's incredible. And of course, the organisation has grown and grown over the years. And you know, here tonight, there's so many people who are proud to support what is an amazing cause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to At Home with Chain of Hope. You just saw some images of some of our previous gala balls. Wow, what fun we all had. Hopefully you recognize a few familiar faces, wonderful memories and wonderful times.
Tonight is different. We're all sitting in isolation at home. However, we're still all one family that comes together from around the world with one common goal, helping children in need. The pandemic has changed our lives, but the problems these children face have not gone away. In fact, many are more in need for our help tonight, and we hope that despite these challenging times, you will dig deep.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for the evening, Royal Savoy Sharm el-Sheikh, Sharawi and Sarhan, and also to our wonderful committees who have managed to obtain some amazing prizes again this year. We hope that you will bid on them and help get a little bit closer to our fundraising goal tonight.
Tonight, we're launching our appeal to raise £1 million before the end of 2020 so the charity can continue with its vital work. We need to raise funds for equipment, for surgeries, for training and for medical missions, and every contribution you make will help us achieve that goal.
We thank you on behalf of the charity and the children for your amazing generosity and really hope you enjoy the evening.
We now have the great pleasure of handing you over to the man who has become the face of our Chain of Hope Gala Balls in the last few years. The wonderful, the professional, our favorite news anchor, live here from the Sky Newsroom, Mr. Jonathan Samuels.
Oh, what a lovely introduction. Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our virtual fundraiser at home with Chain of Hope. My name is Jonathan Samuels, and it is my pleasure to be with you again to support the incredible work of this wonderful charity, Chain of Hope. And what a year it has been. How have you coped? So much has happened, hasn't it, since we last got together. This year, although we can't be together in person, sadly, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are keeping up with the current digital revolution, and we've launched our fundraiser fundraiser, as you can see, completely virtually. And this is the first of a whole series of events entitled At Home with Chain of Hope, all for children with heart disease around the globe. And we are delighted to see so many of you logging on to be with us this evening. It means a great deal. Thank you very much indeed. Now, you can communicate with us tonight through the message facility on this broadcast and send messages to us here in the studio. We can read some of those out if there's time. So look at the bottom of your screen. You'll see the option to send messages through to me, your host, tonight. And we've got some great news for you. We're going to be joined a bit later by Rory Bremnar. Well, I say Rory Bremnar, it could be the Prime Minister, it could be the President, who knows?
Hi Jonathan, and thank you so much for hosting this great evening. I think it's going to be a great evening, and you are a very public-spirited person, Sir Jonathan Samuel, and I shall be joining you later on. At the moment, I'm social distancing, as indeed I have been for most of my life since Eton, anyway. But I will be joining you remotely on Zoom later in the evening to jolly on the troops and hope that we've raised lots of money for this great cause. And I'll bring Donald with me. I'll be with him. I'll be supporting this wonderful, great charity. We're doing it all for Magdi. Tremendous man, and wonderful work they're doing. So I'll be joining you later on. We'll have a conversation, we'll have a chat, we'll have lots of fun. And so stay tuned, folks. It's going to be a great evening, and I'll see you later.
Thank you very much for those kind words. Well, we've got a great lineup of familiar faces for you tonight, and also, of course, as always, some incredible stories of the work of the charity from all over the world. Importantly, there'll be plenty of opportunity to support the charity and help save many lives. First of all, can I just make sure that you have all registered on our fundraising website? It's very easy, it's very straightforward. www.athomewithcoh.com is the address. Now, I know many of you already registered. Thank you very much for that. But for those of you who haven't, I'm here to make it a bit easier for you. So this is how you go about registering. Please take your mobile phone, go to that website, athomewithcoh.com, click the menu on the top left of your screen, then click register. There's a list of options there. Click register, enter the details as requested, as shown in this demonstration. And once you're registered, check your phone for a confirmation. It's as easy as that. And now you are registered, now's the time to start browsing and bidding on all the amazing prizes that we have curated for you. We've got a selection of money can't buy items in the live auction, including limited edition collection of LVMH Vin d'Exception, including a pair of 2009 Chateau de Quem scoring 100 points from Robert Parker. It really is fantastic. We've also got an incredible collection of Dom Perignon, including 13 bottles and 7 magnums from 20 individual vintages. What an amazing collection that's going to be at Christmas time. You'll be very popular. And this next one is a wine investor's dream. It's a one-off opportunity to join the world's most exclusive private client list at Chateau Petrus, and one for the petrol heads, a Formula One experience at the iconic British Grand Prix in 2021 with an exclusive invitation to the McLaren garage. Also 2 unique edition prints from Mariam Eisler, voted one of the 100 most powerful women in art. I hope you agree they really are fantastic money can't buy items. And let me implore you to start bidding on these items right now, because the live auction is going to close tonight at the end of this broadcast in less than an hour. We won't have an auctioneer. These are all online, so please do start your bidding now at that address, athomewithcoh.com. Now, that's the live auction. We've also got some incredible prizes in the silent auction. Now, that's going to remain open 24 hours after tonight's broadcast, closing tomorrow at 9 p.m. I don't want you to miss out on any of this. You need to start looking, registering and bidding right now. And there are other ways you can also place your bids or make a pledge tonight. If you're finding the technology tricky and you'd rather speak to someone in person, you can call the Chain of Hope office on 0207 351 1978. We've got a great team of lovely volunteers. They're all waiting, ready to take your bids or answer any questions that you might have. Chain of Hope team, give us a wave.
Hey.
Hey, there they all are. Excellent work. Keep going, answering those phones. These volunteers are on hand to take your calls and pledges tonight. So please do pick up your phone, dial the number in the top left-hand corner of your screen, and you can speak to one of our friendly faces there and they'll help you out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the charity needs your help now more than ever, especially after the few months that we've had. Please go to your mobile devices, make a pledge, or start your bidding. We really would be so incredibly grateful. So, coming up tonight, we're going to go live to Jamaica and meet the world-class Grammy-winning artist Shaggy. Looking forward to that. We're also going to hear from international recording artist Sean Paul. We're going to hear a bit more from the fabulous Rory Bremner, as well as the man we're all looking forward to hearing from, Professor Sir Magdi Yacoub. And later, we hear from everyone's favourite auctioneer as well. It is the one and only Lord Archer. There he is. He's in full flow tonight, I can tell you. So lots of energy coming from Lord Archer. Join him very shortly. So before we see those familiar faces, why don't we talk about the reason that we're all here tonight, which of course is to help children who are in desperate need right around the world during this pandemic. And with me here to talk more about how the charity has been working and coping is CEO Emma Scanlon. Emma, great to see you.
Good evening,
hope you're
Jonathan.
okay. Hope you've survived the last few months. I mean, it's been so tricky. How has the charity managed?
Good evening, Jonathan, and welcome everybody to A Night at Home with Chain of Hope. It's been very difficult, and a lot of children have suffered, and some have even deteriorated their conditions. But Chain of Hope, we've had to find a way to keep helping these children. And you'll hear tonight in one of the pledges at how we've been sending vital equipment and consumables to our centres around the world, Ethiopia, the Aswan Heart Centre, and getting equipment so that the teams that we've trained over the years can still continue treating children. It's imperative that we keep doing that.
So the work's still managed to carry on?
The work is still going on. The chain is still functioning. We just last week transferred a little baby that was just born with his arteries the wrong way round, and we flew him from Ethiopia to Egypt. He was operated on just 2 days ago and is now doing really well. Another little girl from Iraq, and we need to keep this work going.
Yeah, so how are you going to do that then? What's the plan going forward?
Sure. So as we've opened up transferring the children around the world again, you'll hear more tonight about how that works. Also, we're starting our missions again next month in December. As long as we raise the funds to do those missions, we have a massive calendar next year to do more work because, as I said before, so many children have deteriorated during the pandemic, and we must not stop the work. We must keep going on and treating more children.
Yeah, and it's £8,500 is the cost of helping each child. And on the face of it, that doesn't really seem a huge amount of money in order to not only give someone a new lease of life, but in many cases to actually save their lives.
Absolutely, and it's as complex as open heart surgery is. If you see open heart surgery, $8,500 is very low price for that, and that includes the cost of the hospitals, the flights of transferring the children around the world to Barcelona, to the Aswan Heart Centre, to bringing them here to the UK, the accommodation for the child and the visa, and obviously we support them while they're here in the UK and in other centres as well. So that's one of our pledges this evening, and every contribution that people make will help save a life, and that's very important, no matter how big or small. Your contribution really matters tonight.
Yeah, and we're surrounded by smiling faces of kids who've been helped over the years, which is great. How many children do you think, or do you hope to help over the next 12 months?
There are hundreds on the waiting list, and as I say, that's really dependent. And we actually have pictures that we're showing you on the screens now. These are real children in need who are suffering and waiting on our waiting list, and we need to reach them, and we need your help tonight to be able to finance these children's surgeries. So again, whatever contribution everybody can give tonight will really help to save one of these children that you see on the screens tonight.
And we're going to hear the story of one little girl now, aren't we?
Yes, a little girl from Iraq that we treated on one of our missions to Jordan, which we use as a hub for refugees, and this is the story of Maryam.
وطلعنا بعد الأحداث لما دخل داعش ورحنا للشمال وبعد الشمال جينا هون على الأردن. ما كنا مفكرين بعد بعلاج الطفل ولا أي شيء، وربنا أعطانا بعد شهر حبلت، وهي بعد جتنا مريم. بعدين ورا ولادة مريم اكتشفنا إنه عندها بعد شهرين كان عندها بصفار، اكتشفنا إنه عندها نبضات سريعة بالقلب. صح إنه قلبي مضبوط، بس إن شاء الله خير. والله صدق شعوري يعني كأب إنه هيك بدأ قلبه ينحصر. وبعد ما طلعت من العملية شفته فوق، يعني حتى رحت اخذ لها صورة ما قدرت، خلاص انه عيوني قامت تدمع وما قدرت، يعني الموقف كان حيل صعب عليها. فرحان بانه رب العالمين سهل كل الامور، والدكاترة هم كانوا واقفين معنا، والجمعية هم كانت معنا. رجعت لنا مريم على البيت، هذا احلى شيء، هذا احلى شيء في حياتي، انه صارت فرحة كبيرة. رجع لي هاي احلى شيء بالدنيا، احلى ملاك عندي.
Isn't she cute? Little baby Mariam there. I've got a bit of an image in my head of you sat in front of your computer at home, you've got your mobile in one hand, you're getting your head around the technology and you're thinking about making a bid, I hope. Please don't sit at home thinking, well, there's no gala ball this year, we had fun last year, we'll have fun next year, we'll bid next year. Please do bid this year. We need that money to help children like that little girl more than ever. That really was an incredibly powerful reminder of why we are all here tonight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of introducing to you the founder and president of Chain of Hope, Professor Sir Magdi Yacoub. Professor Yacoub has flown in from Aswan in Egypt to be able to speak to us all tonight. He's quarantining at home as a result, but we're going to go to him right now to hear more about the incredible work of this charity.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. This is a very happy occasion where the bigger family of the Chain of Hope meets to celebrate the work of the Chain of Hope. We love to see each other in person, and that is really important, but we cannot. So the second best, what we're doing now, and importantly, the Chain of Hope cannot operate without the help of the extended family in terms of fundraising. So these are the three objectives of tonight. Enjoy yourself, meet each other, celebrate life of babies who could have died, and fundraise and have fun. Thank you all for being here, and I hope to have another vibrant, happy evening celebrating the work of the Chain of Hope.
And thank you, Sir Magdi, for the insight on the wonderful work that you do and why it is so very important that we need to continue supporting the charity in the future. Now, I hope you have already made yourselves familiar with the many options to support the charity tonight, but just in case you need a push, here's everyone's favourite master auctioneer. It's Lord Geoffrey Archer.
You're saving a child's life. That's what you're doing when you're bidding. This wouldn't even be possible if the people in this room weren't the most generous people we have at any time of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, the auction this evening for these wonderful doctors, nurses, helpers. The auction this evening raised £1 million.
Lord Archer, big round of applause, please, for our auctioneer tonight.
Good evening. Aren't these strange circumstances that when I usually stand at an auction, there's 1,000 people in front of me, and I have to inspire you to give large sums of money. So I want you please to do it, because this year has been even more difficult because of the lockdown. I'm going to start by asking, will anyone give £50,000, 50,000 as a pledge to Sir Magdi, so that doctors, nurses can go out and save 20 lives in a week? Do you remember those wonderful people who were standing behind me last year, those wonderful professionals? That's who you're giving your money to save children's lives. But first, will you listen to Dr. Mark Turrentine, who's addressing us from Indianapolis.
Good evening, everyone. Greetings from Indianapolis. We're very disappointed not to be there with you. Our teams are ready to go, and despite the pandemic, we've been preparing for the next trips. We've had some children that have been on our list that have passed away waiting, but there's many more that we're putting on the list. So I hope we can do some catch up in 2021, but it's going to be so dependent on how we do with our funding. We're able to take care of 10 to 15 children per mission over the course of a week. And in addition to that, also provide screening for a number of children as outpatients. To me, going outside of our country to provide care for children that don't have access to care, really to me is the essence of medicine. This is what brought us into medicine. Of the over 500 children that we've done internationally, I'm sure 90% or more of them would never have been operated had it not been for the team being able to go because we were able to secure the finances to do so. Our team are anxious to go, and they will give up a great deal of their personal vacation time this year to go back and get these children taken care of. So this is an important evening. It's very expensive to do the missions. Without the funding, none of these children would get care. The one binding factor that we all have is each other. And if we can do something for another person, it doesn't matter where, but if there is someone in need or a child in need and we can do something for them, isn't that what we should be doing as a people?
Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much indeed. And we're going to find out now from Emma how many people have given £50,000. Emma.
Thank you, Lord Archer. So we've actually already had two very generous gentlemen, Roberto Magnoni and Rick Gerson. So thank you to those two wonderful gentlemen. And another anonymous person has given 100,000, giving 2 missions. So we've got 4 missions so far.
£200,000 so far. What a wonderful start. I wish there were 1,000 people here to stand and cheer. Magnificent. 200,000, Emma. But we should go over to Charlotte and find out what's happening over there.
Hi, Lord Archer. It's going really well here so far. We're thrilled to report that we've just had £10,000 from the wonderful supporter Shahira Zaid and a pledge to save a life from the incredible co-chair Shireen Helmi. We're hopeful that the calls are going to keep coming in, so don't stop ringing, and back to you guys in the studio.
Well done, Charlotte. Great work. She's doing well, isn't she?
What?
She's good, isn't she?
Who's doing well?
Charlotte.
You. Charlotte. She does well every year. She's wonderful.
Should we see
She's
what's...
wonderful. And Emma's wonderful too. Oh, we've lost Emma.
I know.
And you're still here.
Well, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere, Jeffrey. I'm not going anywhere. I'll tell you where we're all going to go now. Jamaica. Yes. Do you fancy that?
We're going
Let's
to
head
Jamaica.
We're going to hear from our wonderful partner and supporter, the international recording artist, your favourite and mine, it's Shaggy.
Big up everybody in London this evening. Sorry I couldn't be with you this year, but I just wanted to say how important the work of Chain of Hope, doctors and nurses is to all the children around the world, especially right now in this pandemic. COVID-19 has stopped a lot of things, but children suffering with heart condition still need our help. I've seen firsthand how Chain of Hope really makes a difference, how it has helped train teams and set up cardiac hospital, not only here in Jamaica, but around the world in Ethiopia, Egypt, Uganda, and many other places. During the pandemic, Chain of Hope has been sending vital medical equipment and supplies to teams. They've trained many of these teams over the years. This is a vital lifeline of equipment and medical consumables here in Jamaica and other countries, so that our local teams can continue treating these children. So I want everybody that is here tonight just to dig deep in your pockets, real deep, folks, and we're all here in Jamaica, and wishing you guys and knowing that you'll be doing the right thing and coming on board. Drink some rum, and let's get the bidding started.
Drink some rum, put your hands in your pockets, maybe have 2 or 3 glasses of rum, and you might want to donate a little bit more. Shaggy, already celebrating Christmas in Jamaica. I've got some good news for you.
Oh, more than 200,000?
I've got more good news. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Have a look at that.
Oh, wow. You remember we had 200,000. One person has given us £150,000. Now tell me, Jonathan, because you're a clever man, work for Sky and all that, can you add together 200,000 and 150? What does that make?
200, 100, 350.
Oh, you're useless.
350.
£350,000. So we go on to the next pledge, which is for 20,000. Now, this is a very important pledge, and I'll tell you why. You've got your pros, you've got your outstanding men and women doing the service, but they can't do it without the equipment. Saving someone's life from a heart problem requires specialized equipment, and this cost £20,000. So I'm asking, who will help me with this heart equipment and give £20,000?
Excellent. Well, while people are thinking about that, Jeffrey, and making their pledges, Chain of Hope, of course, is supporting cardiac teams around the world during this pandemic. And we're going to go live now to Professor Victor Sang. He's in Great Ormond Street Hospital to expand a little bit more.
Good evening, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings from Great Ormond Street, London. And it is great to see you all. The overseas missions to help the less fortunate with heart disease has been a major achievement for the Chain of Hope. And in difficult times like now, we must continue to show our commitment towards the less fortunate with the heart disease. And that we continue to show our commitment towards those patients who need heart surgery. As you know, a lot of patients with heart disease, they need timely intervention. And that's why we have been able to provide a lot of consumables for the local doctors to continue to do the work. We would do video conferences. We would help the doctors overseas to triage the patients, and so that they could identify the patients who would need early surgery, and we have sent them a lot of consumables so that they can continue the surgery. We use the COVID crisis, and we support the local doctors, nurses, and the administrators to have the courage to deal with the difficult cases. In good time and in difficult times, there are a lot of less fortunate children with heart disease who need surgery. And so we must continue to show our commitment towards the patients, and we must show our commitments towards the doctors overseas. And we also want to tell our donors that we want your generosity, we want your time, and your support would be really, really appreciated for the less unfortunate young human beings who would need heart surgery.
Well, thank you so much, Professor Sang, for all the important work you do. Great having you on board, and thank you for those words. Thank you too for all your messages that you're sending in. Really grateful for that. Do keep doing it. If you've worked out how to send a message, send it to us and we'll try and read some of them out. This is a message from Rick Gerson. Now, you remember that Rick pledged £50,000 a short time ago to fund one of those missions. Remarkable, Rick. We can't thank you enough. This is what he says: the life-saving work you make possible with Chain of Hope is the greatest gift you could ever give to anyone. You are literally saving lives of kids who otherwise would not have survived. You are the best. Well, we think you're the best as well, Rick, so thank you very much indeed. And thank you to everyone who has pledged money so far. Already a remarkable evening.
How much have we got so far, Jonathan? How much?
What do we say, 350?
350. 350. 5 people have pledged 20,000. How much do we have?
450, Jeffrey.
£450,000. Wow. And we're not even in Grosvenor House. We're doing this virtually.
It's virtually pretty good, I think.
Virtually is very. We're not complaining.
Well done. Thank you very much, Lord Archer. Well, while you've been making your pledges, we've got a special message now from someone who wants to give their words of support to Sir Magdi and the fantastic volunteer medical team. Let's have a listen.
There's one thing that separates the human species from any other in the natural world, and that's that we have a unique thing. Money. And if we can give a little more of that money, we can do amazing things in the natural world. We can continue the research and continue the medical advances that mean such a lot to the survival of our species. So please, give generously and be human.
And thank you to the wonderful David Attenborough. Before we go to our third pledge, he's good, isn't he? Before we go to our third pledge item, let's hear from the international recording artist Sean Paul.
Bless them! Hey yo, this is Sean Paul, the girls I'm overall shouting out the Chain of Hope, Jamaica. Now, Chain of Hope has had 42 heart surgeries at the Children's Cardiac Center at Bustamante Hospital so far this year. We commend them for that. The waiting list is also very long though, about 100 people. I hope you can find it in your time to support them. It's a very great cause. Big up the Chain of Hope. Enough love and respect you. Bless them!
And then you're going to do a bit of chat. We got caught out.
You caught us. Normally we can do this on the floor at Grosvenor House, but we're learning by the minute here, so please forgive us. Just give more money for our stupidity. Get on with it.
Thank you to Sean Paul. We're going to move on to the third pledge item now. Third one now, yeah. What have you got for us?
This is a very special one, Jonathan, because this is £8,500. And I'm going to read it out so I don't make any mistakes. One baby in every 100 is born with congenital heart defect. Your pledge will save their life. Wow. You can go home. If you give 8,500, you can save a life. But I want to pass you now to the man who's made this dream possible, one of the great men of our country. He's who you're really supporting. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Magdi Yacoub.
The Chain of Hope continued its work during this dreadful time of the pandemic, and therefore we had to evolve new strategies to help the children. The chain operates seamlessly, like has happened with this Ethiopian child last week. The child was dying at a very low oxygen saturation. The team could not have operated without the extended family whom I'm talking to now. We have to save one life at a time. You cannot put a price on life, especially children. I am delighted to see that the chain is working, the team, during this dreadful time of the pandemic. We cannot leave children with heart disease die.
Wow, such a powerful and important message, and we're so grateful for everything you are doing this evening under very different circumstances, and I have to say it's going well.
Yes, I've worked with that man for 30 years. I'm 80 years old, and I'm going to tell you, he's older than I am, so I have to come every year because he rings me up and says, if I'm going to be there, Jeffrey, you will be. I said, I'm 80, Magdi. He said, get on with it. But we have news on the 8,500 because we've raised another. Here it is. Emma's handing it to me. Wow. We've raised another £93,500. You have saved 11 lives. Now, Jonathan, what does, I'm not clever enough to add all that up, what does that come to?
£543,500.
£543,500. Listen carefully. So far. Back to you, Jonathan.
Well, do you know what we're hoping? We're hoping that we might be able to raise £1 million.
Tonight?
That's the hope.
Tonight?
I know. Do you think it's
not even
achievable?
in Grosvenor House?
Is it achievable?
Here, just the two of us sitting here. Or actually standing here, making complete fools of ourselves. I have to tell you, by the way, he's been carrying me through I may be an auctioneer, but thanks to the man at the back and this one here, I'm being carried through. But that doesn't mean you can stop giving. Give.
Please, do keep giving.
Sorry.
Please. Please. Well done, Jeffrey. Listen, I think we need a break, and I think we need to hear from a superstar, really, someone that we're all very fond of, someone who is a big friend of the charity as well. Rory Bremner is joining us now. Rory, how have you been coping in lockdown? How are you coping with things like Zoom?
Well, it's just weird. I mean, for all the performers, I have not done a live show, a real live show since March. So that's what, 9 months or so. So it's very weird because we love an audience and we thrive off an audience instead of a computer screen. And also I've realized that I don't actually work from home. I work in cafes and restaurants. I mean, I love sitting in a corner of a cafe and just sort of ordering coffees all day and just writing. That's where I write. That's where I think. And at home, just weird things happen. Like there's always something going on. Always, the dishwasher broke down last week, so I had to console him. I've got two children, 19 and 17. I haven't given them names, just ages. And they, anyone's got kids. I mean, they're under your feet, and they always need something. And so so kind of roll on 2021.
Roll on, indeed. Of course, the pandemic has been a nightmare for so many of us, hasn't it? Wherever we are in the world. I wonder how the president has coped.
I did very well. I know you're Sky, you're fake news, Jonathan, but I think you'll find when you count the figures, and this is it, if you count my votes, if you count all my votes, okay, I win easily, okay? If you count his, they steal the election. It's very simple. I mean, Trump is difficult. Coming to terms with Trump he's a bit like the cat that turns up at Crufts, and everyone says, actually, this is a dog show. And he goes, so I'm here now. What are you going to do about it? And, but of course, I'm a big figure in America. I've done more for African Americans than Lincoln. I started the Black Lives Matter. I was a great friend of Martin Luther King. I knew him very well, very, very well. We played a lot of golf together, and I knew him very, very well, and we were very close, very, very close. So that's what we're going to do. We're just working out in the detail right now. And I had a meeting the other day with my national security advisor, my campaign chief, my lawyer, my fixer. I had to get him out of jail first, by the way, but we've sorted it all out. And I think it's going to be, but I'm a very positive person, okay? I'm very positive, always been positive. I surround myself with positive people. We've all tested positive. And that's how it's going to be. And we're going to see what's going to happen in the future, but I think it'll be good.
And once you finally do leave the White House, Mr. President, are you going to carry on tweeting?
I intend to tweet until I think maybe 2080 when something else will come along, and the only time I'll stop tweeting is when I'm playing golf, because it's very hard to, because I play a scratch, as you know. I've won the US Open about 7 or 8 times now, so I can't tweet and play golf at the same time, but otherwise it's business as normal. See, this is what we have to deal with. It's really weird. It's part of my job to make politicians look more ridiculous than they already are. Have you any idea how hard that is right now? I mean, honest to God, you look around the world, if a Martian landed tomorrow and said, take me to your leader, I would change the subject. I really would. Great Tom Lehrer. Do you remember Tom Lehrer? And he said satire was obsolete when they gave the Nobel Peace Prize to Henry Kissinger. And we've just been living in this crazy universe. I mean, for the last 10 years when Tony Blair was made Middle East peace envoy, that was a good one. And then we had, the Brexit and Trump. I mean, I'm still coming to terms with even when they say Prime Minister Boris Johnson, I kind of, that's just, even to me, the words, it's like, I don't know, it's like maths teacher Diane Abbott or social worker Jacob Rees-Mogg, Rabbi Jeremy Corbyn. It's just really weird. Jacob Rees-Mogg, there's a good one. Sorry, I'll let you ask a question. But I've noticed they've not let him do the coronavirus briefings, and I think that's for a very good reason, Jonathan, and that's because I look much too much like an undertaker. But I will give you a little song. Here's all the countries in Europe that I can't stand. There's Portugal and Italy and Poland and Romania, the Netherlands, Germany and France and Lithuania, Sweden, Spain and Hungary and Finland and Estonia, Slovenia, Slovakia and maybe Macedonia. There's Malta, Belgium, Greece, the Czech Republic and Croatia, and Luxembourg and Cyprus, which is practically in Asia, and Austria and Latvia and Denmark and Bulgaria, and Ireland, and if Turkey joins, the whole thing gets much scarier. But once we're out of Europe, we'll no longer be inferior. We'll soon be doing trade deals with Burundi and Liberia. They want to stop us leaving, which is perfectly absurd of them. It's what the British public voted for, at least a third of them. Thank you very much indeed.
Very good, Jacob. Absolutely love it. Brexit, of course, on all our minds still. The Prime Minister self-isolating at the moment, but we know that trade deal is still being worked on. How are things going?
Oh, yes, it is. But we have to do it this year. We have to do it this year so that Brexit is only the second worst thing to happen in 2020. But let me tell you, we are working. People say that we are asleep at the wheel, but I have to say that all year, I and my colleagues have been all over the place. We've been all over the place on testing, on care homes, on quarantine, on school exams, on school meals. We've been literally all over the place. But I have also been coping with a new child. I have a new baby. I've now got a personal reproductive number of, I think it's 6. I think is it 6 or it might be 7. It might be 7. I think so. If you've come into contact with me in the last 10 years and have a child, then get a test. Get a test. That is what I will. That is what I would suggest. So that's the way to go.
And we know you've had a difficult time with some of your staff, Prime Minister. Dominic Cummings, of course, earlier in the year. More recently, Priti Patel. How are you dealing with them?
Yeah, hi. Yeah. So indeed, last week, as you know, Jonathan, being a journalist as you are, last week was National Bullying Week. So I think it's very important to stick up for the bullies, and that indeed is what we will do. And as far as Dominic Cummings is concerned, I think if you've been a father as long as I have, and indeed as often as I have, you will know the importance of going the extra mile, or indeed the extra 35 miles, however far away from Barnard Castle you happen to live. But I think these things will all be swept away as we celebrate the new year. It's funny, Jonathan, because Brexit has gone through so many kind of iterations. I mean, it started off as the Hotel California, didn't it? You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Then it became the Spice Girls Brexit, where the EU said to Theresa May, "So tell us what you want, what you really, really want." And then it became, for a while, with the Northern Ireland Agreement and Boris Johnson, it was a bit Dexy's Midnight Runners, wasn't it? It was come on, Eileen. And now it's a cross between Paul Carrack, and that's how long has this been going on, and Kaiser Chiefs, I Predict a Riot. So there's a musical theme running through Brexit.
Yeah, maybe Brexit the musical. That could be something for next year, couldn't it? And Rory, tell me about Christmas. What are your plans?
Well, of course, there's the lead up. There's the 12 days of Christmas. There's a kind of impressionist version of the 12 days of Christmas, which is, on the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 12 Anne McPartlands, 11 Declan Donnellys, 10 royal visits, 9 nature series, 8 Brian Blesseds, 7 Jeffrey boycotts, 6 Boris children. Is it 6? I don't know, it might be 7. Get a test. 5 Donald Trumps. I think we need to recount. There's more than that. 4 Donald Trumps, 3 Donald Trumps, 2 Donald Trumps, and a new year that's COVID-free. There you go. Oh, before I go, yes, it's not really Christmas, is it, without a little bit of Michael Bublé. So I've written a little song for Countdown, in fact, which I'm doing the week before Christmas, but I'll give you a sneak preview here. It's beginning to look a lot less like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the news at 10. The figures are up again. The red lights on the dashboard all aglow. It's beginning to look much less like Christmas. They're closing every store. But the prettiest sight to see is the vaccine there will be in a month or more. There's a president's speech where he recommends bleach or a shining light in your ear, because it comes from Wuhan and it's just like the flu and it'll go by the end of the year. But it turns out it's the president who's first to disappear. It's starting to look much less like Christmas. COVID's still our foe. There's a briefing from Miss Patel, from Dominic Raab as well. They're the stubborn kind and not inclined to go. Still, we wish it could look a lot like Christmas, the kind we loved before. But the thing that'll really sting as we see the new year in is what lies in store. 'Cause it's Brexit time once more. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for supporting Chain of Hope.
And thank you, Rory, for supporting Chain of Hope. My impression of Rory Bremner is that he's utterly brilliant at what he does, and we're very grateful for his time. Now, I tried to keep him out of my studio for sanity's sake, but Jeffrey wants to have another word with you.
We have reached £763,000. You are the most generous people. You really are the best. But guess where I want you to reach? This is the beginning, 763. But watch carefully, because there are 5 auction items that you will see on your screen. And this year, Jonathan, I can't conduct the auction. You just have to look at the 5 objects and bid for them. But Jonathan will tell you what those amazing items are.
Yeah, they are brilliant. I mean, they really are quite incredible. Let's have a look at them. A limited edition collection of wine from LVMH Vin d'Exception. This is an incredible lot. It's worth approximately £2,500, but it is a limited edition collection, one of only 300 produced. We've also got an incredible 20 bottles of Dom Perignon from different vintages. We've got 7 magnums, 13 bottles, 20 individual vintages. Do have a look at that if you're interested. Now, this is...
I'm interrupting you. We've passed 800,000. Carry on.
No, really? 800,000?
Past 800,000.
Quite incredible. I mean, it really is. It is remarkable. And we're not done yet. If you'd like to keep bidding, we'd be really, really grateful. Some of these prizes are fantastic. This one, Dom Perignon, we've talked about. How about this? An opportunity to be on the world's most prestigious private client list in the world, Chateau Petrus. Let me just describe this to you. A one-off opportunity to become a member of the world's most prestigious private client list. Incredibly rare to be able to purchase directly from the estate. The winner will be offered each new vintage of Petrus as its release price, likely the most competitive it will ever be, and the winner will have access to offers on historical vintages direct from the Petrus sellers. Really brilliant. Plus dinner for 2 at Oswald's in Mayfair. This is good. VIP Silverstone experience with McLaren, 2 designated grandstand tickets for the entire weekend of Silverstone Grand Prix 2021. A behind-the-scenes tour of the garage and paddock of McLaren as well. And 2 unique edition prints by Mariam Eisler. Each piece would sell in the gallery framed for £3,400. Really beautiful artworks. So why don't you bid for those? I tell you what, Jeffrey, why don't we check in for the last time with our volunteers in the Chain of Hope office to hear how telephone bids are going. Charlotte, tell us more. How's it going?
Hiya, we're completely overwhelmed with the generosity of our donors tonight. The pledges are coming in thick and fast. The silent and live auction prizes are incredible, and we can help you bid for them over the phone. So keep ringing. We are so happy with all of it that's coming in. Thank you so much, guys.
You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe. We're not even on screen. We're not wanted any longer. We've passed 900,000.
900. So close. So close.
Wow.
Can we hit
keep
that million
bidding,
in
keep
the next
bidding.
few minutes?
Well, as long as you leave me to do the job, yes. I'm so sorry this evening that we've had one professional and one amateur, but it's the way it goes.
Which is which?
We've passed. Wait, we've reached 935,000. Back to you, Jonathan.
Amazing, isn't it?
Oh.
It really is amazing. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We really are very grateful. Listen, I've got to tell you that we only have 5 minutes left to make your final bids on those amazing live auction items I told you about. Your support is needed to continue this work to save more lives. And now, while we count down the final 5 minutes of the live auction, why don't you enjoy some memories of our pre-COVID events that were all so fantastic. We hope you enjoy.
Now this one dedicated to all of you them who out there and know to say nice things to them girls. Treat her like diamonds and pearls. Dedicated to all the girls around the world. And this is Raven and Shaggy with a combination with your mix. Flip this one on your musical disc.
Girl, you're my angel, you're my darling angel. Closer than my peeps, you are to me, baby. Shorty, you're my angel, you're my darling angel. Girl, you're my friend when I'm in need, lady.
Life is one big party when you're still young, but who's gonna have your back when it's all done? It's all good when you live for your pure fun. Can't be a fool, son. What about the long run? Looking back, shorty, always a mention. Say me not giving her much attention. She was there through my incarceration. I wanna show the nation my appreciation.
Girl, you're my angel, you're my darling angel. Closer than my peeps, you are to me, baby. Shorty, you're my angel, you're my darling angel. Girl, you're my friend when I'm in need, lady.
You're a queen and that's how you should be treated. Though you never get the loving that you needed. Could have left but I called and you heeded. Begged and I pleaded, mission completed. And I said that I this the program. Not the type to mess around with your emotion. But the feeling that I have for you is so strong. Been together so long and this could never be wrong.
Girl, you're my angel, you're my darling angel. Closer than my peeps, you are to me, baby. Shorty, you're my angel, you're my darling angel. Girl, you're my friend when I'm in need, lady.
I give you Akon.
And just hold you, tease you, squeeze you, tell you what's been on my mind. I wanna make up right now, nah, nah. I wanna make up right now, nah, nah. Wish we never broke up right now, nah, nah. We need to link up right now, nah, nah. I wanna make up right now, nah, nah. I wanna make up right now, nah, nah. Wish we never broke up
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can see from that clock on your screen that the live auction is now closed. You have all been amazing with your bids on all those wonderful money can't buy items. Congratulations to the lucky winners tonight. And it is time to let you know at home how much we've raised in the last hour. Jeffrey.
Well, we heard Emma say and we heard Sir Magdi say that they hope to raise $1 million in the whole year. So far, we've raised tonight $998,621. Who will give me £2,000 for my hammer? £2,000 for my hammer, and put it over the $1 million mark. Here it comes. Am I getting 2,000 for my hammer?
Let's have a look at the totalizer.
Am I getting 2,000 for my hammer? Not yet. Bid someone 2,000 for my hammer. Charlotte, stay awake. All of you stay awake. We need the $1 million so we can close the show and say we raised the $1 million in one night. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. And there's only 3 minutes to go before we have to go home. Here we go. Do we do it this time? Do we do it this time? Oh, nearly only. 998,251. Here we go. Just a minute to go. Oh, please. Over the $1 million. Over the $1 million. Come on. Come on, you pathetic lot. Start bidding. Someone, Charlotte, wake up. Get the latest bids in. Come on. What's the point of you, Emma? Jump about. Yes! Thank you very much indeed.
Well done,
Amazing.
Jeffrey. Thank you so much, and thank you at home. I can't believe it. Look at that, £1,006,171, and that is in the last hour. And don't forget, the silent auction is still open. You can still bid for another 23 hours. That closes 9 o'clock tomorrow. Let's make it even more. That is a staggering amount.
There's no charity in this country, and no man other than Magdi who could raise £1 million in an hour. Staggering.
It really is staggering, especially given everything that we've been through in the last few months, the fact that we're here and not with you. But hopefully next year we will all be together once again and we'll be able to really celebrate.
And the good news is that I will be doing the auction and we will have found someone to replace Jonathan. Good night.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for watching. We couldn't have done this without you. Great to see you. Thank you very much.
And a huge thank you to you too, Jonathan.
It's an holiday.